everyone doing? Wait, why can't I hear my own BGM? Wait a second. Why can't I hear my own BGM? There we go. I hear it. I mean, hi guys. Welcome to Bunana Coven. Yeah. Let me put down the BGM. Bunana, there was a witch. There was a witch. I'm still the witch. Yeah, I'm still the witch. I'm okay sitting here at a friend. Our bun. I'm doing fine. Yeah, there was a lot of crunching happening today. But here we are. I was debating on if it's better to keep the BGM on or not. But what do you guys think? Crunching? Yeah. I had spoilers alert. I am going to be dropping a Halloween voice pack like later tonight. But I was gonna drop it before the stream started. But obviously, Bunana didn't finish in time. See, I did it last night, and I sent it to Ramoy for quality control. Cause you know, I gotta put up I gotta do my best, okay? I sent it to Ramoy for quality control, and she told me that I need to fix stuff. So I was fixing stuffs. I would like to listen to just your voice in my opinion. Okay, let me turn off BGM. Yeah. Hopefully there's no like noises and stuff in the background. Usually BGM does a good job kinda covering that a little bit. Yeah. I'm thinking that I might put it as like a $5 wait, not BGM, voice pack this time since it's seasonal too. But hi Puck, welcome to Banana Coven. Happy Halloween, yippee! Anyways, I was out on a tangent to find some spooky ghost stories to tell you guys today. At first I was searching on YouTube, like, ghost stories. Simple as that, cause, you know, you gotta start somewhere. And so I did that, right? And, like, it kept giving me, like, horror story. Like real life horror story video on YouTube. And I was listening to it and I was like, you know that emoji? The raising one eyebrow emoji? That was my face. I was raising my eyebrow like, this is not ghost story. Yeah, that one, Barry. That one. You should have asked us. Well, see, I don't want you guys to listen to it before I tell you guys, you know? I want to keep it like a little surprise, you know? So I was listening to like a couple of YouTube videos and I was like raising my eyebrows like, that's just a creepy old man. Like, basically, one of the stories that I opened the video to was a cornstalk horror story. I bet if you search it up right now, it'll be one of the first to come up. And basically, it's this kid that decided to that he biked past this cornstalk all the time, and one day his bike like chains broke, so he was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna take a shortcut and walk through the cornstalk field, right?" You want us to search corn? Yeah. Get some corn, guys. Halloween, the true horror of a creepy old man. Yeah, it's really a true horror of a creepy old man. But anyways, like, apparently his mom said to never like walk through that cornstalk, but he did anyways. He did, and then um he was walking and started hearing rustlings here and there, and I was like, "Oh, go! Is that like a animal or something?" And he's like, he kept hearing rustlings.
You've been a good little minion.
Thank you, Yanta. Thank you, Yanta, for the $25. It's one of my most cringiest ones. Thank you for donating. You get a treat. Kissima. That was amazing. Yeah. Truly a Halloween trick or treat. A little way to end. Yeah. And then the kid find this creepy old man standing in between the roll of the cornstalk, and the man was like, "Are you lost, kid?" And then the kid was like, frozen. He said, "Oh, he's so scared," and then he dropped his bike and ran away. And then the man was like, "Hey, I just want to help," and keep chasing him. But the kid was so scared, he hit in one of the cornstalk, and he just kind of balled up and just kind of crunched there. And then he waited out until it was nighttime, and he decided to take the longer way home and tell his parents everything. And um, so they went back to find his bike. They couldn't find it because obviously, I feel like, as any other like people do, like I feel like I would take the bike to somewhere else. You know, I wouldn't leave it just laying in my cornstalk. And the parents got him a new bike, and a couple days later, his old bike showed up at his house. I think that's the most creepy part, but it's not a ghost story. It's not a ghost story. You've been a bad little minion. You? You've been a bad little minion? All I found is something about country girls make do. What did this mean? But I'm sorry, which website are you searching it on? Quick, get him! Get him! Yeah, get him, guys. Anyways, that was just a quick little preface. I so I have technically three big like ghost story quote unquote topics that I'm gonna tell you guys today, but it's just for extras. One of them is like a really, and I mean really long, like ghost story. Super freaking long, guys. So we might don't we might not even need the extras that I found. Okay. You might not even need the extras. Long story, yippee. Yes. So I was doing a little deep dive into like Thai ghost stories. There's a really popular like podcast show called The Ghost Radio that's very popular like with my friends and a lot of Thai people for like, you know, when you want to listen to ghost stories. Basically the premise of this a podcast show is people call in their number, their studio number, and they tell their own ghost story, like their experiences, and then the DJ, you know, obviously entertains and be like, "Oh my god, that's so scary," and just let the guests carry on and tell their story. But this one episode that I chose to, you know, tell you guys today, it's about it's a special guest, not just any regular like call-in guest. They invited him on because this guy has like a very spooky story that he published as an article in Pantip. It's kind of like what you call him, kind of like the equivalent of 4chan, but not like very toxic. It's just like an anonymous board. I believe you have to use your like social security ID to register with it too. So it's like not really toxic, but kind of like anonymous still. Hi, Bunny. Welcome to Banana Pear. Wait, Banana Coven. welcome, happy Halloween. And so this guy published this story like a while ago, and it got super popular. Like people were saying it's the legendary ghost story. We're a coven now? Yes, we're a coven now. Just for Halloween though. So we should go on 4chan. No, 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 no. We don't go on 4chan. No, no, no. Anyways, so people were saying it's a legendary ghost stories, and he also I think published a book. Although I didn't fact check this, and also there's a movie that was made after this ghost story too. Hi, Cricket. Welcome to Banana Paradise. Wait, I mean Banana Coven. Dang it, dang it. ASMR, me drinking water. The um, the movie that was an adaptation from the story is called Death Whisperer. It is available on Netflix, although I don't know if there's a region locked or not. But there's that information if you guys wanna maybe check it out. So, this was dated back in 1972. The person that posted this on the blog was telling it for like cuz he heard it from his mom. This story is his mom's experience basically, and he then published it for everyone to read. So, let me move the mic. So the story is situated in like a rural area in Thailand, like very very rural, and back 50 years ago, 50 something years ago, it wasn't, like a lot of places weren't really connected to cities or you know all the lights and stuff, and also a lot of like cultural aspects of like beliefs and stuff also shows a lot in this story. So I think I'll have to explain and touch on that a little more too. So this family of four sons and three daughters, so three older brothers, and then the mom, right? So the one that tells the story. So we'll call her like the girl, yeah, the girl, and then two younger sisters, and then one younger brother. Call them by their chronological like birth order, so like A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So A, B, C are the bigger brothers. D is the girl that we are like that we're talking from her perspective, and then E, F is her younger sister, and then G is her youngest brother. Okay, so this family, they have a farm, like a vegetable fields and stuff, and basically the kids like daily routine would be waking up early to help with the chores around the house, and then like do the farm work, and then they go to school. Now ABC, the brothers, they don't go to school anymore because they do the bare minimum, and then they didn't pursue higher education so they can help out the family farm. So the only people that goes to school right now are D, E, and F, so the sisters. Now, their walk to school every day from home to school is about 2 to 3 hours walking, which is crazy. Like, like how like, parents used to say, back in my days, I had to walk across like mountains and stuff to get to school. Kind of like that, but except there's no mountains, it's just plains. But they had like two ways. Yep, yep, yeah. Hi, Redsu. Welcome to Banana Coven. Happy Halloween. So they have two ways to get to school. One way is a shortcut, the one that they always take, and then another way is a more populated areas with like locals and stuff, like bigger road. But that way is that just takes too long, especially if you already have to walk 2 or 3 hours. It makes sense. Anyways, this day when they were coming back from school, E wasn't feeling very well today. Like she was feeling a little under the weather, a little sick. So they were walking home as usual, but today something was a little different. Like they had a little premonition. Be like, like something feels weird about taking the shortcut today. Like maybe we shouldn't. But eventually they decided to take the shortcut anyways because they always take that shortcut. Like why wouldn't they? It's just a weird little feeling that day, but they decided to not listen to it and just take the shortcut. Now, this shortcut, right? It's very spooky. They're not scared of it, of course, because they always take it, but that day it feels spookier than usual. Shortcut goes through like this forest, okay, like dark, like deep, kind of deep forest, and some like in some areas there would be like farmlands, some areas forest, but the main attraction on this shortcut is this one big tree in the forest, like very big old tree with a shrine next to it. Now, every time that they pass this shrine, they always pay respects to it. It's kind of like part of our culture. I don't know if you guys do this, but for me, growing up, whenever we pass like a shrine, a visible one, at least if you can see it, you'll have to pay respects, like by putting your hands together, like kind of like the praying motion, but we call it like why, like we pay respect to it. So they always do that. That's like a usual thing. And then this time, it wasn't just a shrine. There's like a middle-aged woman, like a black shirt, some mid-length hair, just standing next to the shrine. At first, they were like relieved because, well, they was kind of scared, and now there's someone else on this path, so it was pretty nice. Like there's a company, and they were planning to say hi if it was someone they know. But then they walk closer, and then they realize that, oh, it's just some random women. Never seen them before, like a stranger. So they just did what they usually do. They walk past the shrine, pay respect to it, but when they pay respect to it, they looked up, and that woman was staring at them, smiling. Then they said that this woman looked very creepy, like the way that she stares into you, her eyes. It was very creepy. So they were all spooked out. Hi, Town Bad. Welcome to Banana Coven. Happy Halloween. Hi, Lucky. They were, yeah, totally normal behavior. Yeah, just stand there, smile, stare at you creepily. Totally normal. Yeah. Back in the days, am I right? And then, so they quickly walked away, all three of them walked back home. Now, when she got back home, like E, who was already a little sick, she got even more sick that night, like fevers and stuff. And she like wakes up at night and she starts screaming that somebody's gonna come and hurt her. Now, this went on for a couple days. The same thing. Wake up at night screaming, somebody's gonna come hurt her. She keeps telling everyone that somebody is coming. Now all in the woods behavior. Yeah, yeah. Next to the tree and the shrine. Just, normal behavior. But no one believes her. They just shove it up to, like, nightmares. Which makes sense, honestly. If someone tells me that, I'll be like, hey, I think you're overthinking it. Maybe it's the sickness. You're in pain. Your body's trying to tell you subconscious stuff or something. Because, like, it's weird, but I don't think someone's gonna come hurt you kind of moment. She's gonna die. She's gonna die. You don't think that she can have a happy ending? Is that it, Raiden? But yeah, I think I should touch more on the shrine part before we go further. So in Thailand, we built shrines for a lot of stuff. Okay, we built shrine for good spirits or like bad ones. It's more of like the shrines are more of like building houses for them to stay. A lot of rural areas have shrines for just random like hungry. I wouldn't. I mean, I guess you call it bad spirits. They do it in the belief that if they have a house to stay, they wouldn't bother other people. Usually you can't really. I mean, if you don't really, you're not like knowledgeable in this field, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between like a sacred like good spirit one versus just like a random housing for some bad spirits. But yeah, that was one of the shrine backstory. And we don't know what shrine was there with the big tree. We don't know who put it there, but people pay respects to it anyways. Hmm. But yeah, after a few days of her, absolutely not. Damn, no faith, Raiden. After like a few days of waking up at night and screaming someone's gonna hurt her, they finally took her to like a local doctor. Like it's not, they don't have a lot of like technology like or anything because they live in a very rural area and it takes like 2 to 3 hours drive to actually get into the city to get like a city doctor. So they just took her to like a local one because she's just a fever. Like kids get that all the time. And the doctor told them that it's nothing serious. It's probably just a flu, or maybe it's her period might be coming because at this point E was like 13, right? And our main character D is like around 15. So they just kind of shove it up to like normal kids children's flu and just give you like normal prescriptions and said, yeah, she'll be fine in like 2 or 3 days. She did not. Shocker. Shocker. She did not get better. And she kept looking like worse and worse because obviously she hasn't been getting a lot of good rest too. Yeah, shocker. Now, the oldest brother, A, came home after a week of the whole thing going on, right? He used to be in the military. He doesn't really stay home because he doesn't like farm work. Okay, that's why he's trying to get away. But he does love his family and he comes and visit once in a while. And this time he came back and noticed that his sister E was looking very like gloomy, very sickly, very pale. He asked his mom, like, what's happening? What did she do? Like, was she out being naughty or anything? Like, like kids do. And then the mom's like, well, no, like nothing really weird happened. Writing her eulogy now. Oh god. Not the eulogy. But yeah, and then A was like, okay, you know what? I'll be right back. So he drove out and came back later that day with his friend that he met in the when he was in the military. Um, this guy is like a military doctor, but now he was also retired and like just kind of take care of the local people, like local doctor now moment, and a lot of people respect him. Okay, but he's not just like a ordinary doctor. He knows a little bit about like supernatural stuff, like a little bit, not an expert. He just knows things. Okay. So A being back this friend, I'll call him a doc friend because it's easier. So doc friend like went over to E and start assessing the conditions, right? And he said the same thing, like, oh, it's probably just a flu, and give her the same prescription. Except, he called over A, like very subtly, be like, hey, you wanna go out and like smoke some cigarettes? So they both went to the back of the house and smoked cigarettes, and they were talking to each other. And the dog friend was like, "Hey, your sister does not look good. It looks as if she has been like cursed." Now, I use curse very loosely because I don't know the literal translation of the Thai word over to like English. It's more of like, do you know how like a voodoo doll, they use an item to affect someone? It's not exactly like voodoo doll, but you know, like that act of like using, it's not possession. You're you're playing with somebody basically. You're That's what we call them in Thai. It's like we call it playing, playing a thing, because like someone did something like with something that affect you, and that's kind of like the Thai like supernatural thing. Yeah, let's call them voodoo, but it's not exactly voodoo because like you can't really control them like how the voodoo doll does, you know. But let's call them voodoo. Like it's more like a voodoo thing. So this is their speculation. They think that E is under some voodoo type magic. Mhm. So afflicted by a ritual, bit kind of, yeah, basically. But they're not sure. Now, mind you, like they come to this conclusion pretty easily because this whole belief is very deep rooted in our culture, and like dated back 50 years ago. It's very easy. Like people come to like conclusion about supernatural stuff very easily all the time. So they just like throw that out as like a suspect, but they didn't share it with anyone else because they're not sure if it's actually the case, and they didn't want to cause panic for no reason. So Doc friend was telling the brother A was like, "Hey, so for now, don't let E go outside, and don't let any stranger come to your house. Like don't let E meet any stranger, okay?" And as soon as he was saying that, their mom and dad friends were coming over for a visit because they heard that E was sick. So they're just here to, give some nice gifts, wish them well, blah blah blah, all that nice neighborly thing to do, right? Except in this crowd of people, there's a couple, like a lot of people in this crowd. There's one person in there that was not their friend. It was a stranger. It was like a old lady, just kind of tagged along with the crew. So everyone went inside the house and was saying hi to E. Quick, get her! Yeah, jump her, attack her. They went inside, and the old lady she didn't went inside, but she stared at E. And when E sees her, like when they make eye contact, E suddenly spring up and screamed. She screamed like super loudly, and suddenly that everyone was all spooked. They were like, "What is going on?" A and the dog friend that was in the backyard right now rushed back inside and was like, "What's happening?" The dog friend saw that old lady and suddenly just start cussing her out, like major cussing at her out, and be like get away, like all the cuss words and stuff. I can't do literal translation, like motherfucker, get away, like why are you here, just leave. And you think that would cause a commotion, right? The old lady just smiles and walks away and go back home, just like that. Yeah, hi Mira, you were giving her candy, that's so cute. Welcome to Banana Coven. Yeah, yeah, cussing her out in time. I don't even remember what exact cuss he was using, so it was nice knowing the girl. No, she's not dead yet. Neither did cousin Ty, so we know what they were talking about. You need a reenactment. Anyways, so everyone was confused, right? And they were asking Doc like what happened, and then Doc was like, "Hey, do you know that lady? Like, do you know her? Like, is that her your friend?" And everyone's like, "No, like we don't know her." And the Doc was like, "Well, this woman, like this old lady, she plays with some dark shit. Okay, she plays with some dark ritual stuff, and it kind of just drove her crazy. Like she became a crazy old lady. So, like, if she ever comes by again, don't let her meet E." That's all he said, cause he doesn't want to spook anyone yet. That's all he said. Like it's a crazy old lady. Don't let them meet, cause usually she doesn't leave her house. She just stays inside. Like all the people she meets are usually like, you know, like old people, same age. But she doesn't go outside really. She's pretty much a neat. So it's very weird that she would intentionally come to this house unprompted. Voice pack bun berates you in Thai. That would be funny, wouldn't it? So they let a crazy old lady who plays with crazy dark rituals, magic stuff into the house. Well, not yet. She didn't walk in. She was just staring in front of the house. I don't know why she didn't walk in, but she was just staring in front of the house. Staring in. Before she left, of course. But yeah, and then everyone's like, okay, well, that's fine. Kind of like an overreaction, though. Kind of like an overreaction, but you know, a stranger, like, kind of like invading our property is pretty weird. So that night, the sleeping arrangement of like the kids, right? Are like so D sleeps alone. Well, they're all in the same room. The sister sleeps all in the same room, but different beds. So D sleeps in one bed, and then E and F sleep together in another bed. Yeah. Okay, so she wasn't in the house. She was a crazy old lady who plays with dark ritual magic, who is also staring into the house creepily like a stalker. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, yeah. Or it's a Bruno type situation. Bruno type situation, perhaps. We'll have to see. But hi Maliki, welcome to Banana. Coven, welcome. Yeah, yeah. Drink some coffee. Wake up. You're tired. Wait, who's tired? Anyways, so that night, right? So D got woken up at night because she notices that E got up. And then, because she's like a big sister, right? She's like, hey, E, where are you going late at night? And then E just didn't answer. She just ignores her. Just no answer and just walks straight outside the room. So D grabs a lantern. So they do have power lights and stuff, but they don't use it at night. They turn off the power generator at night to save power. So that's why after dark, like they have is lanterns and flashlights and stuff. So she grabbed the lantern and followed her out, but a lantern is it doesn't give much light. It's very dim. So she kept following like the back of E. She followed her until they were in the kitchen. And she sees her back like very dimly, like closer and closer, of course, because she walked in closer. She was crouching down, eating chicken intestine. Chicken intestine. Hmm. But D she kind of chalked it up to, well, my sister is sick right now. Maybe she's like hungry. Like she needs that, to recover because she's sick. So maybe she just came here for like a late night snack. chicken intestine, like night snack. And as soon as E notices that D is here, she quickly like gouge down like the rest of the chicken intestine as fast as she could. You know, kind of like how animals do when they see other people coming close, like they think their food's gonna be stolen. Kind of like that, you know? But she didn't want to overthink it. Like, yeah, classic midnight snack. She didn't want to overthink it. Like, what? Oh, maybe she's just hungry. But she forgot to think about something. E hates chicken intestine. She she would never eat it in like any like circumstances. Dog, and I was gonna go get some Chick-fil-A. Oh damn, chicken intestine. Yeah, so it was like a very weird behavior from E because she hates it. But no one really gave it much thought because I guess they just forgot. In the morning, D asked E if she was feeling better because, she was up and walking last night. Surely she felt a little better today. So D was like, "Hey, how are you feeling today? Like, are you good to go to school today?" Because, like, she wanted to know if, they would walk to school together, if she would need to wait for her or not. Apologies for sounding like a broken record, but she's gonna die. Let me make a poll actually. I wanna know what you guys think. Will D die? Come on, put some speculations, guys. She'll walk it off, I believe. Yeah, you gotta have faith, Anyways, so D kept. Wait, not D, I mean E. God damn it. Well, I got confused. Well, I'll just say E. I got confused. Will E die? So D kept asking her, like, "Oh, like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, are you going to school?" Kept asking, and E just ignores her. Like, she doesn't respond until she got very annoyed, and then she lashed out, like, kind of like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm gonna sleep," kind of type of language. But this is also very weird because E is the timid one. Like, she's a quiet one, the very like the good kid, the goody two shoe. She would never like use that kind of language, and she usually is like happy to do chores around the house, but she hasn't been doing chores, which, that's not too surprising because, if you're sick, then it's fine. But that type of language is very weird. Although, um, everyone just shrugs it off as her being emotional because she's sick, right? But like when D and F was walking to school, so it's just the two of them now because D isn't here anymore. When F and D are walking together, F told D that E keeps staring at her when she's sleeping the whole night, like the entire night. Every time she opens her eyes, she would see E staring right back at her. And that is very scary. Like, that spooked her out. Rightfully so. I would also be very spooked out. But, D, because she's like the bigger sister, you'll see a lot of theme of these people when they talk to each other about supernatural stuff. The older one always try to gaslight the younger one because they don't want them to be scared. So D is like, "Yeah, no, no, I think You're just overthinking it. Probably it's nothing much. it's it's okay. She's staring at you. It's okay. But E was still sick. Like, and she kept refusing to eat anything that her mom was trying to give her, except she would ask for a chicken like intestine soup type of dish. I don't exactly know how to translate that, but it's like a soup that's you cook you boiled chicken intestines in there. So her mom, for because she's a good mom, she loved her kid. She killed the chickens that they own and refrigerated so they can you know so she can make her the soup later the next day. And then at night, he got up again. This time longer. It was longer. That's not the kid. No. So he got up again around like 2 to 3 a.m. This dog's howling. This time Dee didn't wake up when E got up, but she woke up to the dog's howling. And I mean like a lot of howling. And she starts hearing like a creepy voices, almost like a chant. Awoo, yeah, awoo. Now, this is actually where the name of this ghost story come from. It's called Tiyot, which in Thai it doesn't really make sense. It just means a place where like it drops, like a liquid drop, like a place where a liquid drops, which does not make sense. Like, what does that mean, right? But it's like basically like a chant. She couldn't make out what it was saying, and then it just kept saying T T, right? And it's very echoey, reverby, spooky. Dee was obviously like very scared, and she couldn't muster the strength to get out of bed to find E. Luckily for her, she didn't have to find her. I don't know if that's lucky or not, but she didn't have to find her. E was walking back. After a while, of course, it was a while. She was walking back, and she was like stomping with every step she take, like very loudly, like an adult stomping. This was 13-year-old too. And when she got back to the room, all like the chanting and stuff, it keeps getting louder and louder. And then he finally got back to the bedroom. Now, Dee glances over to see, oh, well, she's back in bed, and she felt a little relieved. And E, like, I guess noticed that Dee was looking over and noticing her. She looks straight at Dee and smile. And, like, just stare at her and smile. Very creepily. Now, after this, Dee could not sleep. Like, she just literally just stayed up the whole night, just waiting for one thing, for the chicken, for the chicken to, like, do the little morning call. When the edibles kicking hard, yeah, when the edibles kicking hard. Definitely when the edibles kicking. And I want spooky cake. Spooky cake? What's spooky cake? Anyways, this thing has been going on for like a few days, like on loop, same thing. Just kind of get up at night, dogs howling, and then all the chanting that they hear. Now, Dee couldn't take it anymore. She's like, this thing has been way too weird. Dee's in danger too now. Oh no! Man, these edibles ain't. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Yes, when you take double edibles, you're like, oh well, it's not hidden. You take one more, and then you're gone. But yeah, Dee couldn't take it anymore, so she was like, I'm gonna go tell my brothers about this. Like she's planning to go over to A, B, and C, so she can tell them all about this. But like just coincidentally, A, B, and C was also talking about E the moment that D was coming over, so she overheard their conversation. And they were also suspecting E, because there was a lot of like behavioral changes. We're talking about how weird their sister's been acting, like the language that she's using. She hasn't been doing chores, she's been sleeping all day. It's very weird. Like the drastic shift in character, I mean. Hmm. And so Dee joined in. She's like, yeah, also she gets up at night and do some weird shit. Also like the whole like chanting and stuff that they hear too. Mm. Also, that night, the parents are not home later that night because they had to go to a countryside to like a relative's house to do something, and they wouldn't make it back home in time for it to be dark, so they just decided to stay over at the relative's house and left the children in the care of the oldest brother, A. Now, the brothers A, B, and C decided collectively that they need to keep watch because now that they learned that E, their sister, is, keeps getting up at night and walking to random places, they'll just like keep watch and see what she does at night. So, well, it's like this part is kind of hard to tell, like tell a story because there's two things going on. I'll tell these perspective side of the story first. So that night, F, who usually sleeps in the same bed as E, asked to sleep with D because she couldn't keep up with staring at your face the whole night anymore. So she's like, "Hey D, can I sleep with you tonight? Like, you has been creeping me like out way too much." And D agrees, so they sleep together that night. And they doses off. Everything was normal. They ate dinner, doses off. And then same thing happened. E woke up and starts stomping. And D, this time she was pissed off because she's trying to sleep. She's like, "Hey," usually she would stay quiet, but this time she said, "Hey, can you keep it down? Like, I'm trying to sleep." Very annoyedly. And E just smiled and let out like a little laugh. Like, she doesn't care and she just left. And D just kind of let it go and kind of like, oh, it's good that she's gone now. But she was so spooked that she couldn't really go back to bed, so she decided that she was gonna go to her brother and then ask if she could sleep with them that night. Also leaving F behind in her bed alone, because F was sleeping, and she didn't wake up. So she decided she's gonna just leave F there and go sleep with one of the brothers. To her surprise, though, she couldn't find anyone. She went to brothers A's room, B's room, and C's room. No one was there. And then, gunshot. She hears a gunshot outside and like a loud commotion of A yelling outside. Now let me cut to like another perspective of the same event, while that was whole like happening. Yeah, a gunshot. She's a big stepper. Oh yeah. So basically, A, B, and C decided to keep watch tonight, right? And then they noticed that E came outside and just walked outside the house. So they followed. They followed E. All of them had weapons, okay? A had a shotgun Of course, A had a A have a shotgun. B and C they have I believe it was a machete and a shovel. Base A. Yeah, shotgun was involved. So they followed E. She walks deep into the backyard, into like their vegetable fields, crop fields, and she just stands there, like swaying. All of them have flashlights, so they were just using the flashlight to navigate. She was just standing there, swaying, swaying, swaying. And A yelled, like, E, what are you doing? Like, he yelled in E. And as soon as he yelled, and like, E just kind of collapsed down. Collapsed down. So they went, like, they rushed over to E and then they put her up against like some bamboo shoots that they have. While they were doing that, they saw like a figure behind the bamboo shoots. It's the woman. It's a woman, middle-aged woman, with a black shirt, mid-length hair. Oh no. Does that ring a bell? The women are back. The women are indeed back. So that's the yelling. This is where the yelling and the gunshot that E hears. So A fire like a warning shot up in the sky and yelled, "What did you do to my sister?" And no reply. She just smiles. She just stands there, stares, and just smiles. So he fired again, but this time she disappeared. But they could have sworn someone was there before, and there was also evidence because there are actual footsteps, like, on their crop field. There's a literal footstep there, so someone must have been there. It couldn't have been an illusion. Now E rushes over and she's like, "What's going on? Is there like a thief in our house?" Like, and no one would tell her anything. All the brothers just kind of brush her off and say, go inside, don't meddle with this, just go back to bed." And she kept panicking and panicking, like, "What's happening?" And she just thinks that there's a thief in the house, right? So she, with her flashlight, she panned it over like the crop field, and she saw the shadowy figure of that woman. And she told Brother A, "There, I see her. That's a woman figure." And A, without hesitation, fired into that direction. And now D is very she's spooked out because she she thinks that it could have been E that they shot at. It was like like why did you do that? Like, what if it's our sister? Because she doesn't know at this point where the sister is. So she just kept crying, kind of crying, and all the two brothers, I believe A and B, rushed just in that direction to follow the women, and brother C stayed behind and explained things to D, like, "Hey, like over there, like that's where E is." And so now D just rushes over and she just wakes up D. It's like, "Hey, wake up, wake up." And as soon as E wakes up, she starts like kind of like whining out, crying out in pain, be like, "It hurts. My stomach, it hurts." So they carried her back to her bedroom and let her rest. Nothing really happened again that night. It's just very weird circumstances with all the kids and stuff. Yeah, yeah. But the whole entire time, like, the brother now also hear all the chanting and everything. Which now, like, kind of like the kids now, they kind of know that something strange is going on. Also, the problem is their dad, they don't really like believe in supernaturals. So that was like a major like setback, so they can't really do much. Yeah. They only know now. Well, I think it's more of like they had a suspicion all the time, but they kind of convince themselves that it isn't, you know? It's like a coping mechanism. like I feel like I would do the same thing cuz you don't want to admit that it's like some dark like ghost stuff, right? You just kind of want to shove it up to like, "Oh, well, she's sick. She's tired. You're overthinking it." Yeah, they shrugged off a bunch of stuff. There, like a bunch, and I mean a bunch. That's like the end. Like, so I have like a note I did in on my iPad, right? But I didn't note everything. So I'm gonna open up the actual article and then continue the story. Normal sick behavior, yeah, like craving intestines. Very normal sick behavior. Like, are you telling me that when you're sick, you don't do that? Alright, okay. I'm trying to find where I left off. I do that all the time. Me too. Oh, and now Dee told that brother, like brother C, the one that stayed behind with her. She's like, yeah, like that woman, the woman, the shadowy woman figure that we saw. I saw her. I think it's the same one that we saw on the way back home at the shrine. And brother C's like, okay, that's weird. Keep it quiet for now. Don't tell brother A, cause he's pretty hot-headed, and you know, if he knows this, he's probably gonna go over to the shrine and just destroy it, which is probably bad, cause you know, you don't mess with shrines, and also like that would probably cause some trouble with the locals too. But eventually that night they all went back to sleep. And so E was crying the whole night too, that she's, you know, her stomach hurts. So A and B, they drove out that morning and got the doc friend to come back and assess the situation again. Now mom and dad also came home this morning, and C was the one that explained everything that happened last night. But dad was like, no, like I don't believe that. Like that didn't happen. But the mom seems a little more swayed. Like she's like, maybe something is happening. Rig the shrine with just a few pounds of black powder. Boom, kaboom. Yeah. So today, right? Another eventful day, I'd say. Um, a bunch of relatives from their mom's side. That's they live close by, so they came over for a visit. So their mom went you know to the back of the house to get them some water to like because you know you gotta be a good host. Get some water, some stuff, refreshments. But within that crowd, you know who was walking with them again? It's the old lady. She blended in with the crowd again. But this time, she actually walked in the house. And she stopped in front of E's bedroom. As soon as E makes eye contact with her, same thing happened. Sudden scream. One job. Exactly. They had one job. They couldn't keep her out. They- I don't know how, but they can't keep her out. And so as soon as E screams, the mom came rushing in and was like, "What's happening?" And she saw that old lady. So with the water that she just got in her hand, she threw it at her and used also very cussing language to be like, "Why the fuck are you here? Get the fuck out of my home right now." Kind of language, you know? Old lady, yeah. He's gonna die. Vading is so set on E's dying. You don't want to give her a chance on anything. So after that, a lot of relatives like ask, "What happened? Why was she screaming?" And the mom was like, "Well, it's nothing, cause it's. I don't think you can really explain the situation that much." So she just brushed it off and didn't tell them. Now around like noon, the dad and B from working out in the fields came back, and the mom said, "Hey, that old lady is back again." And the dad was like, "Well, meh," because he doesn't believe in this stuff. She was just like, "Hey, it's fine, but next time, just be better, okay? Like next time, just keep watch on who's coming over to our house." While they were talking about this, um, A A and B came back home, and they brought back Doc again, right? And then Doc was like, "Hey E, like you're not getting better, right? Like it's been a few days and it like act up again last night. Maybe we have to take you to a city hospital this time," which is pretty far. Now, walking when they walked over to E's bedroom, they were already like she was already like waiting for them. She was awake, like staring, waiting for them. And so he kept asking, like the dog friend. It was like, "Oh yeah, being nice, talking. You know, like the language he used to talk to like a child. Be like, hey, like you haven't feel better, like baby talk." She didn't answer, but eventually she lashed out and said, "I'm not E." Like with like very foul language, by the way. I'm not fucking E, you idiot. I like you like you're being nosy. I'm gonna eat you all kind of moment. Yeah. And then the mom was like panicking. I don't know if she panics because of what she said, but she seems more pressed about the language that she was using. She was like, "How can you use that kind of language with other people? Like, who taught you this kind of moment?" Damn, Fading was right. He's gonna die. The plot thickens for real, for real. So, A was like, "What the fuck happened?" Right? So E, after saying that, kept laughing, like very crazy laugh, like and mom keeps asking, "What's happening? Like, are you going crazy?" She never answered. She kept laughing. So the doctor asked, "Are you?" and then mentioned the old lady's name. E said he didn't say anything. She looked back and stared and just passed out. Mom keeps like trying to wake her up, but she wouldn't wake up. And now A walks in, right? And then he's like, "What the heck is happening?" And now the doctor called A and the father
outside to talk alone.
Now, right now, Doc has a pretty strong like he has a strong suspicion now. It's like almost confirmed. He's like, I'm pretty sure that she's being quote unquote eaten by like a type of ghost, demon spirits, by that old women that we saw. Pretty sure, like he said, I'm pretty sure. But the dad didn't believe it. And then he also shared the story that he saw like a dark, shadowy women figure yesterday, like last night too. But it wasn't an old lady; it was a middle aged lady. And the dog friend, hearing this, he went pale, and he said he's heard of this story before. They said that the women in the black shirt is something that's very scary, cause they're they're not really a ghost, but they're a ghost, but not really a ghost. So, like, we don't really know what they are. But he said all he knows is he's just heard tales of like this lady in the black shirt a long time ago. Yeah. And then A was very angry, like because they were talking and talking about like the old lady stuff, and and A like start seeing like mom crying, and got angry, and said, "Where's that old lady's house? I'm gonna go beat her up." And then the dog was like, hey, stop, like calm down. Like we don't even know if it's true or not. Like it's a pretty strong suspicion, but we don't know for sure. Finally solving the problem. Maybe the problem was already solved. Who knows? Anyways, they were like Doc was trying to hold him back, be like, "Hey, calm down. Like if we use violence, then that's gonna cause more problem." So the A went and came back with like a little like crossbow, and it said, "No, like it's fine. I won't do anything. I won't do anything. Hey, can you take me to her house? I just want to ask her some questions." Like I don't know what her problem is. Like kind of trespassing my property all the time. Now the mom and dad both try to stop them, but they already left. And he tried to reassure them again that nothing's gonna happen. I'm just gonna go and talk with my crossbow too, but I'm just gonna go there and talk. Around like an hour later, they came back home, and everyone asked, "Hey, so what happened?" And A said, "Well, we found some people. Like there's a couple, like two or three people at home, and probably like her like like sons, daughters, niece, something." And then everyone asked if he like got into an argument or like violence. And he said, "No, I didn't get to. How would I get into like a fight? Because the old lady died like an hour, like a couple hours ago." Mm-hmm. She already died. So yeah. They said that her death was might have been painful too, because there was
like marks of scratching, not her body, but scratching the floor, like a dig, like a scratch marks on the third floor, deep scratch marks. So they think that it was a pretty rough day, but they couldn't really solve any more problems because she's dead. So the dog friend was like, like, what are you gonna do? Talking to the father, what are you gonna do? The dad says, well, I think I'm gonna take E to the hospital in the city. Finally, by the way, finally. So the dog friend was leaving again, and he said firmly again that let E sleeps alone and keep watch on her, keep a good watch on her. Don't let her go anywhere. But he was trying to shove it up to like, oh, it's a help for health reasons. Maybe like she has like a disease. If she moved a lot, she'll get worse. But the mom, well, not the mom, the D, D that was listening in, she knows it's not a disease. It's more supernatural. And that evening, like the mom came over to E and was like crying a little bit. It's like, hey, E, like, okay, like, how are you doing? Like, wake up and like eat something because has been refusing to eat. But she didn't say anything. She just kept quiet. Now, this night, because the doc like ordered her to sleep alone, right? So D and F, who usually sleeps in the same room as E, now they sleep with C, their brother C. Around like 1 a.m., she woke up to the clock sound. It's like the big old like grandfather's clock, right? And she looked outside because they didn't close the door. And in the middle of the house, there's like a dim lit light with A and B like sitting on a table, and I think they passed out. Or they dozed off? So now they're just sleeping on the table. But not long after she noticed that, there's a sound like a door that opened, soft door opening, like a creak, and then like stomping noises. And then Dee was very spooked. She was trying to call for help or like wake up her brother and sister that sleeps next to her, but she couldn't utter like a noise. And then she saw E walk into the middle, like the desk that she saw. She walked over and stand there swaying, staring at A and B. After she stared for a while, she just kind of left. Outside, by the way, not back to her bedroom. She just left and go outside. She just Dee just hears a door creaking opening sound and then closed again. Now, after it went quiet a little bit, she just quickly wake up her brother, the brother C that's right next to her. She wakes him up, and as soon as he was like a little like woken up, he just springs up because they hear it again. The little chant. It's echoing. So brother C rushes over to the middle of the house, wakes up A and B that's sleeping on the table, and there's no need for explanation. They know what's going on. A immediately grabs his buddy shotgun, the same one, and told D to go back into the room, locked the door, closed the window and the curtains, and stay there and don't come out no matter what they hear. Even though they really want to know what's going on, she is also very, she's scared of A too. So she did as told. She went inside, locked the door. So it's her and F together. Now I'm pretty sure F is still sleeping. I don't know how she sleeps through all this stuff, but so she locked both of them inside the bedroom. And now there's like a commotion outside, right? A yelled. He challenged the ghost. He's like, "I'm not scared of you." Is this surprise someone is somehow getting sleep there? Yeah, I don't think F really knows what's going on. All she was scared of was getting stared at when she was sleeping. Other than that, she's just kind of sleeping through the night. But yeah, it was just yelling outside, challenging the ghost, be like, "I'm not scared of you. If you dare, if you're really like there, like come out, just come the fuck out. I'm gonna shoot you so you're dead again. I'm gonna kill you twice." He has a shotgun against a ghost. Surely nothing can go wrong. What? You don't know? Shotgun's the best weapon against a ghost. But yeah, after he dared the ghost that, he heard a faint woman laughing. Very like, very chilling, just going up his spine. And then, because he was yelling, mom and dad was like, "What's all this commotion?" They woke up. Like, is there a thief? And then they started having the argument about, like, oh, like that, like you've always just been focused on work, like you don't even know what's happening in our house. Like, did you know there's like some strange shit going on? And all of the younger siblings, they're all scared. You don't even care. Classic argument. And then the dad says, "Ghosts aren't real. Like you're just being like nonsense. Like because it's very like stupid of you if you like believe in all of this stuff." And then the mom interrupted, "Where's E?" And then B said, "Well, we haven't found her yet." So now they kind of settle down their fight for now and try to find her. And then someone and then A, he also dared the ghost again, and then this time the mom was trying to hold him back because she's like, why would you do that?" Honestly, I would do the same thing because like I would be scared. I was like, don't challenge them, just let them be. But A was like, "I'm not scared, there's so many people out here. I don't know what we did to them for them to mess with our family, but..." And then he said, like, just dare them to come out. And then at that moment, they heard a crash. Like someone throwing like a clump of dirt on the roof. And then they have an argument again because the mom's like, "I told you to not dare the ghost." And then the A was like, "What the fuck does they want with me?" And then mom was trying to like tell him no, to stop. And then another clump of dirt crashed again. And then I think the A was trigger happy because he also like shot like his shotgun once. And now he got like scolded again for shooting the shotgun. A's just getting a lot of scolding today. And then the dad was like, "Why would you do that? Like you're just disturbing our neighbor for no reason." But while they were arguing this time, C was like, "Wait, wait, that's E. What is she doing in there?" She was I don't know exactly. They didn't really describe in detail, but apparently she was in the bamboo shoots that they have. Like they have 2 to 3 bamboo shoots in their backyard, and apparently she was in there. So they were like confused. They were like, "What are you doing in there? And how did you even get in there?" Right? And the mom said to carry her out, but everyone's just confused. Now, while this was happening, you know how like D was alone and well not alone. D and F was locked in the bedroom. She hears like knocking on her door, like a very soft knocking. Knock, knock, knock. D was like, "What?" She was like caught off guard. And then the knock happened again. She was quiet. She didn't know who it was cuz who would it be? Everyone was outside. Or did they return? Hmm. So she asked, "Who is it?" They didn't answer, but they said, "D, open the door for me." And D was like shocked, confused, and scared because it's E's voice, right? And then the knocking happened again. Knock, knock, knock. And it says, "Open the door for me again." And she asked, are you E? There was no reply. They just knocked again and said the same thing, like as for the third time. "Open the door for me." Now, she was about to reach out and open the door, like unlock and open the door, but then she remembered that a while ago, it's been like, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, when she was young, her mom taught her, well, not taught, but told her a story because within their local like districts and stuff, right? Or like the next district over, there's a story of a women ghost. She likes to come out at night, and most of her like incidents are missing children's, like at night, like it's just missing. And every story have a similar narrative of someone like knocking on the door with like, like a familiar voice, but someone knocking on the door and calling their name 3 times. Like people who are like half awake, who open the door, just kind of disappear, walk off and disappear in the dark and then get to come back. And people who survive that says it's kind of like a dream. Like you go out, open the door, and then you just see like a shadowy women figure standing there. And they think they're dreaming. They dream that they're walking over to that woman. But luckily, one of the other people in the house also woke up and shouted like, "What are you doing? Like, are you sleepwalking?" So they snapped out of it, and that's why they survived. That's why her mom told her the story, so no one would open the door if that happened. She also said like it doesn't make sense because if anyone wants, like if any human actually like wants to wake you up at night and really needs something, like why would you just softly knock only 3 times? Like wouldn't you just like start banging after a while, like increasingly like aggressively, like more aggressive? So D didn't. Yeah, she was smarter than that. She didn't open the door, and she's like, "Stupid ghost, just go away. Don't come near me." There was no reply really, only a cold, chill laugh. And then D screamed, "Mom, help me!" Just screamed loudly, like, "Mom, help me!" And then everyone rushes in, and Mom was the first one to reach there and just start banging on the door, like, "Hey, D, what's happening? Open the door!" And then Dad also said the same thing. And then D opened the door because obviously this time it's a human. Confirmed human, loud banging. Yeah, and then she was just hugging her mom and crying. And then A asked what happened. And then D said E came over and knocked the door. And everyone in the house was very visibly confused because B just carried her in when everyone rushes in the house. So it couldn't have been. So mom, you know what they do? They gaslight. Mom said, "Oh, I think you might have just, you know, overheard it. Nothing happened." But D like stood her ground and she said, "I really heard it." And she was being kind of aggressive about standing her ground too. But we don't know from Dee's perspective, because this story was told from Dee's perspective. She doesn't know if her mom and dad believed her or not. But they reassured her that it was just her imagination. But you know who relieved her? A. Because A was very angry. Very, very angry. And that was like around 3 a.m. I'd love to stay and listen, but my internet cannot handle stream, sadly. I'll listen to it later if it's safe. Thank you, Clayton! I'm sorry you couldn't listen to the stream, but yes, the VOD will be safe. Thank you so much, Casey. So, A, being so angry, grabs the car key and rushes out. He said, "I'll come back like noon." Everyone was confused. "Where are you going?" He didn't say anything. Next morning, they were just doing their normal routines and everything. This time, I guess the argument that the dad had with A last night really ingrained in him about him not knowing anything and only working, didn't care about his children. So he asked mom, it's like, "How's E doing?" And mom was like, "I don't know what to do with her. Like, she looks fine. But whenever I ask her something, she just says, 'I'm tired.' She only wants to sleep and wouldn't do anything else." So the dad walks into her room and look at her conditions and ask her, "How are you doing?" And then there's a faint little reply from E that says, "I'm gonna sleep. Like, I just wanna sleep." And then just dad was just angry. Like, he didn't like her attitude. He's like, he's like, what's your problem? Like, if you're fine, say you're fine. If you're not fine, say you're not fine. Like, you just keep sleeping and not talking. You don't even do your chores. And then E lashed out. She said, like, just mind your own business, basically, to dad. And of course, he's not gonna take that standing down. Her dad was like, "How dare you use this language with me? Like, does no one teach you?" And then he started beating her up. You know, whooping asses. The the 90s days. Actually, it was the 70s. Yeah, it was 70s. Back in my days. Yeah, getting ass whooped. And then she started screaming because she was getting, ass whooped. And then mom was like, "Hey, don't do it. Like our child is still like recovering. Just let her sleep." But the dad was like very angry still. But so he didn't say anything, just walked out. Mom couldn't do anything too, so she just stood there and just listened to her screaming. Kind of fucked up. Now, at noon, A came back. He took the truck, he took the family truck, and now the condition is bad. The truck looks beaten up, like the windshield is cracked. So everyone's like, "What did you do? What happened?" And A said yesterday, as soon as he drove outside the fields, like their property, when he was turning, someone, I don't know who, someone like threw a clump of dirt at his windshield. Maybe it's that old woman, like the ghost of that old woman. But and then he said, "You know what? It's good that it's like a clump of dirt, because if it's a stone, he'd probably be in a big trouble." When he's done telling that story, he just introduced his family to a new guy. I'll call him the witch doctor because he is. He's an expert. He call him the expert, and he's like walking around the house right after introduction. The expert just walks around the house until he reaches the backyard, pacing back and forth, kind of like shaking his head a little bit. I had to step away for a moment. Is E dead yet? She's not dead. It seems like you're just wishing for E to die. Waiting. Waiting. Okay. But yeah, so the expert is kind of walking back and forth at the backyard and kind of shaking his head. Hmm. But when someone asked him, like, what's wrong? He said, "I don't know yet, but it's not good." Do you smell that? Everyone said, no. Like they try to sniff it out, but they couldn't. They couldn't smell anything. If he survives this, I'll make an apology to E Buncha. You make an apology? Anyways, A takes the expert back inside the house, just walking around like a house tour. House tour moment until they stopped at E's room. Now, it's the same thing when that dog friend came over. E was ready to see them. She was already awake, staring, waiting for them. She smiled a little bit when she saw A. Like she just had a creepy smile going on, but it was only briefly. Because as soon as she glanced over and see the expert, she got very upset, visibly upset. Now, the expert walked over and baby talks again, like, "Oh, like, are you E? Like, how are you doing?" She didn't say anything. She just ignores, stare at him. And then the expert said again, "Everyone's worried about you. Like, if you are suffering from anything, just Feel free to tell me. And he reaches out his hand so he can feel the temperature on her forehead. She moves away. And he asks again, "Don't be scared. I'm not here to hurt you. Do you hear me?" She doesn't answer again, just staring and staring. After this brief moment of awkward silence, the expert said, "Are you coming out or not?" Like, tone changed. He's not talking to E anymore. At least, I think everyone kind of knows that he's not directing this to E. More so talking to someone that's, I guess, inside E. But then, this time E answered, "What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about." But she didn't answer that like an innocent, "I don't know what you're talking about." It was more of like a challenging tone. And the expert asked again, like, let's just be on our way. Like, you have been torturing this child for long enough. Don't you feel sorry for her?" E said the same thing. "What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about." So, the expert sighs, reaches in its pocket, and he grabs like a little tin can, about the size of a coin. And then he opened, and it was like a waxy thing, I guess, like kind of like a yellowish, muted, like yellowish, whitish, muted colors. He used his thumb, he get it out of the tin, and put it on her forehead. As soon as that thing is on her forehead, she she didn't scream or anything. Like, she didn't have like pay reaction, but she started convulsing. And faintly, she was like, "Mom, help me. I'm scared of this guy. I'm scared of this uncle." Mom heard that, and of course, it's mother's instinct. She's gonna walk in and, like, try to help. But A kind of holds her back. And then E starts convulsing even more and more, and then she cries out again, "Mom, help me. I'm scared." And then that at that time, like, mom just kind of brushed away A's hand and said, "Stop, stop. Like, I feel bad for E." And then so she walks in and then just start like kind of comforting her a little bit and saying, "It's fine. You're fine. You're okay." A got kind of annoyed and was like, "Hey, mom, just move over. Like, let the expert take over." And mom said, don't you feel pity for your sister? Your sister, like, seems fine. Like, don't you see when she was calling out for help earlier?" And then that also said, "Yeah, that's enough." So A, who was about to like argue back, but the expert stopped it and he said, "It's fine. Like, it's not a big deal." So they dragged all of the people and talked outside, and he said, so D overheard this, just the expert saying that it's not a good it's not good a good situation. It looks bad. Has it been going on for like a few days already? Like multiple days already? And then A said, "Yeah, it's been like over a week." The expert shakes his head. "It's strong. I've never seen it this strong before." Why did you guys let it escalate it to this point? And then A was kind of like whining a little bit. He's like, well, he doesn't really stay home that come home that often, and once he's back, like it was already really bad. And mom and dad also doesn't believe in this. He like they only like worried about their child. They don't do anything. And then the experts like things like this. There's people who believe in it, but also a lot of people who don't. And then he mentioned that this job, this work, this case, he couldn't take it alone anymore. Like he couldn't, like him alone is not enough to deal with it. He said he will need the help of like a modern doctor, like a city, like the one that's in a city. He needs their help. It should help, like, kind of ease the situation a little bit. Mm-hmm. I forgot to touch on the base that you know how like both times E was like waiting for the doctor, like first like the doc friend and then now the expert. She was waiting for both of them, but the reaction's different. The first time she was like mocking the doc friend. It was like, haha, like just you're so nosy. Like no, you're so nosy, threatening him. Like I'll eat all of you. But this time when it's the expert, she just kind of froze up. Like I guess she's scared because she can feel that he's like the real deal. But yeah. Anyways, they after that conversation, they decided that they're gonna take her to the hospital that day, like that day, which like took you long enough. You think that takes her to like a hospital, right? But yeah. A told B to go take E to like the car, but E keeps resisting, and I mean resisting. She tries her best to not leave. She just keeps screaming, crying, throwing all the tantrums she could. She like she like struggled so hard that like her shirt ripped. And her mom was like crying and said, "Please go, like so you can be better." And then A came in because he was annoyed at this point. He's like, "If you don't go to the doctor, how will you recover?" Mom, move a little bit. Like get away. Like mom, like get out of the way. Like do you want her to get better? So now A just dragged A just dragged E to the car. But she still keeps resisting. And their mom and dad was like, "Hey, be more gentle on your siblings and stuff," and they keep arguing again. But they couldn't get E far because the way she kept resisting was very hard to drag her anywhere. Now, while this was all going on, the expert was at the backyard, like staring out the backyard. And then he called for A, like, "Come here." While A was trying to drag E to the car, he, like, kind of looks defeated and just lets E go and walks over to the expert and see what he wants. And then E rushes back to her bedroom. Now, the expert told A, "Hey, can you get me like a machete? Just maybe one." And A and B just disappeared to the storage to try to find him one. Then they came back with two machetes, and um, they asked, "Why do we need them?" And the expert was like pacing back and forth, mumbling to himself. Sometimes he walked as far as the crops field, and then he U-turned back. They asked again, "Why do we need like the machetes?" And then he said he didn't answer again. And then he stops in front of the bamboo shoots. And then they whispered, A and B, they whispered, wait, that was the bamboo shoot that they found E in that night. The experts stand there for a while and said, okay, this. Just use the machetes on this bamboo shoot. See if there's something inside. Yeah, uh-oh, indeed. Then B was visibly confused. Why are we breaking it down? Like, what's inside? What could possibly be inside a bamboo shoot? The expert didn't say anything. He just kind of stand there and watch calmly. And then they start like using all their might and force to like chop that bamboo shoot. They keep going and keep going, like chop, chop, chop. And then the dad heard all of this happen, came out and asked, what's all this commotion? What's happening? The expert walked over and said, please, like, I'm sorry, but please just watch a little bit. Just watch this for a little bit. They kept chopping and chopping at the bamboo shoot until they stopped. It's not just A and B that stopped. They smell something really rotten. It's like so rotten that it makes you want to puke. It's coming from the inside of the bamboo shoot. It's like the more they chop in, the stronger the smell is. B, who was chopping it, couldn't stand the smell. They had to retreat, just take a breather a little bit. But A, he was locked in. I think D said, because from her perspective, she said A looks like he's very blood crazy at that point. He didn't care about any smell. He just keep chopping. With each chop, he was cussing. And he just kept going at it, kicking, like yoinking, doing everything to that like bamboo shoot. Just looks like a mess. It's open over, it is. Until he yelled out, what the fuck is this? Everyone walked in to look at it. And the expert said, don't go near it too much. So this thing, not only does it smell rotten, if you like look at it from like a far distance, it looks like a little cobweb. Like, but when you go closer, it's like slimy. Like slimy. Like kind of like a tree sap. Kind of like they're like connecting here and there, kind of, like it's forming like a web ish. Mm-hmm. And then this slimy thing just smells horrible. But not only that, below that slimy little thing, there's like a remnants of like something. At first, like D thinks it was like a leaf, like bamboo leaves that was just stacked on top of each other to like decompose. But once you look closer, it's not that. It it's kind of like intestines or like an organ. Don't know what creature it is, but it was ripped to pieces, shreds, and it was just in a pile with some old cloth and some hair strands. A lot of hair strands, actually. All the like organs are already like dried up, but the sight was just so like gruesome that D had to get out there and just puke it out. And then they saw Doc and the expert talking to each other. And while they're talking, B decided to grab like a bamboo shoot that they cut down and stuff, right? And use it as like a little stick to poke it. Cause he wanted to see more of what it actually is. And the expert was like, "Don't touch it." But as soon as he said that, it was already too late. He already touched it. He already, give it a little. As soon as he like poked that thing, remember when she rushed to her bedroom and she didn't want to go anywhere? She rushed back down, now standing at the door, very, very upset, very grumpy. And she's kind of like speed walking, like half walking, half running. And the expert just shouted, "Everyone, grab her and put her back in the room." And everyone was trying to like get her back. B was like kind of holding her back, but he couldn't fight her. She was just, she was just too strong, which is very weird. Why couldn't he fight her? And then the mom came and was like, "Oh no, this is D. D came and was like, 'Hey, why are you coming out? Like, just go wait inside.'" E doesn't care. She shoved D away, almost like making D fall. And then, so A, like, grabs her shoulder and was like, in like a very serious tone, she was like, "Hey, go inside. E, go inside." E looked over to A, but she doesn't care. She brushed his hand out of her shoulder, and A, of course, he wasn't gonna let that go. He slapped her across her face. "I told you to go inside." Their mom and dad was very shocked, but E wouldn't. She's still resistant. She wiggled hard. So the expert walked in and put that yellowy, whitish, muted, like a muted color thing on her forehead again. She stopped resisting, eyes going up, and convulse. She starts convulsing again, like she tenses up. Um, and then the expert said, "Hey, take her back to her room. Things are getting tense as fuck." Yeah, it was tense. When I was listening to this, I was like, "Holy shit." And then the expert was talking to the dad now. He's like, "This thing, the thing that they found in the bamboo shoot, very bad. Like, very cursed. Very strong. It's like an unlucky item, but unlucky is like an understatement. Like, it brings you the worst luck possible. But it's like a thing that people played with for like the voodoo stuff, you know? It's like it's like it's like something that they use voodoo for, like when you're aiming to like really like this like just eat at someone kind of moment. So he advised the family. He advised the dad, "You gotta destroy all this stuff." And the dad starting to like believe in all of this stuff. He's like, if if you think that destroying this stuff will make everything better, do it. But the expert said, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna make things better. But nevertheless, it's better to not have these things lying around. It's better to just destroy these kinds of things. So he asked B to go to the car and grab his bag. And his white bag, it has some like a white thread. You know, the one they use in rituals and stuff. He rolled out the white thread and start tangling it around the bamboo shoots and start doing a ritual. Mumble, mumble, and then throw the rest of the threads inside. At that point, it was like a very like afternoon. The sun was like blazing hot and everything. The dad gave the expert some matches to use. The first matches didn't like it ignited for like a second, but it went out. So he used the second like matchstick, and it went out again. See, and then B was like, "Do you think it could be a ghost blowing these out?" The expert didn't say anything. He just kind of smiled a little bit, and he said, "Go get some gas." Just go get some gas. And be quick. B rushes back with some gas, and he sprayed all the gases around the bamboo shoot. And then he said, "Okay, after that thing in the middle of the bamboo shoot is burnt, you gotta chop the rest of the bamboo, um, to like burn them with along with like the rest of the things, because um, it's hard to control the flames. They don't want to cause fire hazards." But we gotta wait for the thing in the middle to burn first. And he said it again to make sure. And then A and B, wait, A and C came up, and the expert asked, "How is E doing?" And A said, "Well, she's just convulsing, like a lot of convulsing." And then like mom and F is looking after her. Now, the expert asked C to come help, like control the flames, because I guess bamboos are really good, like fire, like ignite, like what's the word? Like it's a good fire starter. So that's why they have to be very careful about burning the bamboos. But he told mom like D. He told D to go back inside and sit with her mom because she'll be spooked. And then he yelled, "Okay, I'm gonna light this thing up now. Everyone keep watch." He light another matchstick, and this time it works. He throw it inside, and then the fire just blazes up because there's gas and everything. The fire just blazes up, and then once it get to the middle of the bamboo shoot, it starts making like a sound. And not like as soon as the sound came up, E just screamed so loud. Just one single scream, like a excruciating scream. And then passed out. And everyone was like confused. What's happening? What what's happening? Why did she just suddenly scream? And now she passed out. What do we do? A said, "It's okay, Mom, it's okay." And then he asked the expert, "What do we do now?" And the expert said, "Okay, guys, it's time. Grab your stuff and the car. We need to go to the city hospital right now. And hurry up, we don't want it to be dark." And then, so the people who stayed behind and watching the fire are the dad, the B, and then F, and the rest of the family packed up and kind of crammed inside one single truck. So four of them inside, and then the rest, three of them, so seven in total. Three of them on the back of the truck. Now, when they were trying to get E out to the car, you know how like they were carrying her like left and right before? This time they couldn't carry her. It they she was just very heavy. And these guys are like buff because they do a lot of like manual like labor, right? They couldn't carry her. And then A thought that like C was just being like playing some sick joke. He was like, "Moved over, I'll do it myself." He tried to lift her up and he couldn't. And they everyone was so confused. And the expert said, "We have no time to be confused. Just help help each other carry her up. This is already late afternoon. It's not good to travel at night." So they struggled, but they did. They did carry her to the car eventually. And then they left. But before they leave, how they decided to get like for someone to be a driver, the expert said, I need someone with a strong constitution. Strong, just I need like that person will be the driver. And everyone was like, hmm? Like that's such a little it's such a weird little requirement. But of course, A is the one that got it, because obviously shotgun versus ghost. You won't get any better than that. So because his their truck was already kind of beaten up, right? Remember the windshield cracked? Very true. The windshield was already like cracked, and it wasn't the best car to drive at night. So they had to stop at their relative's house before and trade cars with them, and that just makes it like later. It takes time basically. I have a very strong conscience. I'm not afraid of using people for bonus points. Damn. This is the best stuff to listen to before bed. Yeah, crazy story, isn't it? I told you, it's been 2 hours. Kind of crazy. It's a very long story. But yeah, so this hospital, right? I told you it's around like 2 to 3 hours driving distance from the house. But that was only for daytime. If it's nighttime, it's gonna take a little longer because it's a rural area. You don't really have a paved road. It's all dirt road until you reach the big road, the big main road, of course. But that's not until like an hour and 30 minutes away. So just dirt path, and there's pitfalls here and there. No lights. That's why you couldn't like really go fast. Just gotta be careful. The expert like told A to be very careful while driving. I guess he just expects something to try to stop them. And so they made their way to the relatives' house, traded cars and everything. And the the relatives just make small talks, and it was just eating up more time. Just want to know stuff, you know? They were nosy. Just like, do you know people there? Like the one that just died, like the old lady. I'm thinking of going to the her funeral. And A said, "Oh, that psycho. Good that she. It's good that she's dead." And then they just left. But by the time that they're leaving, it was already sunset. Like the sky was turning purple and like red. The expert sighs and said again, "Be very careful." And so they were just driving. There was a lot of like dust too, because while they're, it's a dirt path. So the people at the back, the three of them. So it's the dog friend, I believe C, and then D was sitting at the back. So they had to like bring up their shirt and stuff to cover all the dust that was coming up from the road. Now, while they were driving, right? Um, D and C was having a little conversation. She was like, you know, like that women with like a middle-aged women. Maybe they're the same person, like as the one at the shrine, and then the one at the house. Like it gotta be the same person, right? And then the dog tried to gaslight D, being like, "Hey, I think it might be some local, cause he's trying to gaslight her because he doesn't want to spook her, but he was like trying to console her, be like, oh yeah, a lot of people go there to pay respects and ask for stuff, right?" And he didn't really continue that. Yeah, the gaslighting never ends. This whole story is just a lot of gaslighting. Anyways, like the journey continues, and like everything went dark, like because it was, the sun is gone. The only light is from people's houses and the car headlight. Now D, while watching, looking at the headlight, she jumped because she saw a shadowy figure. They really think it's gonna help the situation. I know. It's like a white lie, but also at the wrong situation. But she saw a shadowy figure. And then she's like, maybe it's just a local. Again, gaslighting yourself. Maybe it's just a local around there coming back from the field work. But what's strange is after they drove a little bit more, she saw the shadow again at the same corner. And she's like, "Hey, see, did you see that person? I've seen him 2 times already." And then the dog was like, "There's nothing. Just you know what? You should take a nap. You should take a nap. It's gonna take a while until we reach the city." So she didn't like dare to look out the headlight window or like any other like anything again. So she just looks at C and the dog. That's all she looks at, or like down. Just keep her head down. And then she saw that C did a like a huge eye moment, like you know. he was also like spooked. And he whispered to the dog, I saw it. It's there. And then the dog was like, and the dog quickly said, shh, don't say anything. Pretend like you don't see it. And you can hum some songs along the way. Okay? Just don't say anything. It's like, I don't know if you guys have heard of this belief that, like, if like something supernatural happens, you don't call out, like, you don't acknowledges it. Because once you do, it affects you. So that's like the thing that they're trying to do here. They're like, don't call out to it, basically. Just ignore it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have heard of that thing. Yeah, yeah. This is basically what's happening here. And then, so C asked again, so does A not see him? And then B, not B, the doctor, the dog friend was like, well, it's because A is he doesn't really get scared of anything. And he has a very strong, like, conscience and constitution. If the thing isn't really strong, he won't see it. If it's like not a strong ghost, but that's what he meant, he won't see it. Not gonna lie, Bun's voice right now is putting me to sleep. Yeah, spooky, spooky EP. And then B asked, well, not B, C asked, do you see him? And then the doctors didn't say anything and just went quiet a little bit. Cool bit about that, it's commonly believed that's how demonic or evil spirits are able to enter our world. By acknowledging them, you confirm they have made it here. It's kind of like the same thing as inviting like a vampire or something inside your home, right? Like they can't go in unless you're the one that like invite them over. So that makes a lot of sense though. So after like that whole thing happened, about like an hour later, see, he's still humming some songs. By the way, he's trying to cope. He doesn't look around anymore. He's just trying to cope and start humming songs. And then they arrived at like a turn. Yeah, somewhat the same concept. Yeah, they arrived at like a turn, and when they turn, it's a temple. It's like a local temple. We call it like a temple, like wait, not a forest temple basically. It's like a very small, like a rural area temple. Usually like they're paired with like a lot of scary like stories. But C said, "Oh, now that we're here, cuz like C he delivers a lot of like veggies to like the city often, so he knows the route. He's like, "Oh, once we're here, around like 30 more minutes and we'll reach the main road." And D just sighs with relief. She's like, "Oh yeah, nice." After the temple, it's like just like a empty field of sugar canes. Just big, huge sugar canes, and like just all you can see there. No houses, no people, no lights. And then there's a crash. It comes from the side of the car. It's like someone is throwing something at the car again. Now, the three of them at the back just look at each other, stun locked, like they know what's going on. After a while, it happened again. And A, he looked over and said, "What are you guys playing?" And then C is like, We didn't do anything. And then A just continued driving. But now C is like biting his nails. And then also the dog's friend also looks very anxious. After driving a while, they went through like a few turns, and after the last turn, everyone was just silent. Even A, who just now looked visibly like anxious, because on the right hand side is that same forest temple that they just passed. And then C was like, hey, are you like lost? Why did you drive to the same location? And A was like, I don't know, but how would I be lost? There's no there's no branches. There's no branches. I was just driving straight. And I always took this road to go to the city. And they started slowing down the car. Oh god, Loops, that's the worst possible thing. Exactly. It's okay though. They have an expert. They'll be fine. So he started slowing down the car. And then the expert said, "Don't. Don't stop the car." So he continued driving, and he A and the expert was talking a little bit, and then A shouted, "Hey, the expert said if you see or hear anything, don't say anything, okay? Don't acknowledge it." And then C was like, "Well, you're the one that fucking said it." so so yeah. And then they went through the same route with the sugar cane and everything. Everything was quiet. But nothing happened this time. No one said anything. And they finally made it to the big road. So A, he was like pressing down hard on the pedal. It's like because it's a big nice paved road now. He can go as fast as he could, and there's lights. So they made it to well, it's like it's not really like a nice little drive. I wouldn't say it's like a there's like a part where he was driving, and this part doesn't have a light. Suddenly there's a car in front of him just blasting like a strong light, like at the highest light, you know? And then they almost got into a crash. But it's fine. They didn't, and they made it to the hospital. Yeah, yeah. Now, you know, this part, it's like kind of funny because like, oh wow, like maybe this is the end. But is it the end? Is it over? Like, oh wow, we made it to the hospital. But is it over? Around like 2 p.m. They arrived at the hospital. And it at the current time it was believed to be like the best hospital around there. And so a lot of like, nurses came out and got grab E and put her in a wheelchair so they can carry her and stuff. Now they decided to admit her to like so stay overnight at the hospital. And then she was kind of like awake now. She feels better. Um but she kept saying that her stomach hurts. Her stomach hurts. Hmm. Now the nurses kind of is a little confused because they think that her condition is like weird. It doesn't look like a sick person. But their mom kept like kind of consoling her, be like, "It's fine. We're gonna be fine. We're at the hospital now. Like tomorrow or the next day, we'll be able to get home." So I guess they couldn't really figure out what's going on with her. So they just kind of decided to just let her stay at the hospital and they can kind of see what to do. The expert who's standing next to the hospital bed, to her hospital bed, said, "Oh, he's gonna go down a little bit, and he's gonna go, worship or like respect, pay respects to the shrine down below." And then after like a while, the nurse who was like assessing E and everything just left the room, and then C walks in. So C asked mom how the what the nurse said, and then mom said, "Well, I don't." The nurse said that they don't really know what's happening yet. Maybe it could have been like, what's that thing called? You know that little surgery that people do all the time in like the little thing when you have like a lower left, was it lower left pain on your stomach, and you have to like get that like surgery, like a very common surgery, appendix. Is that what you call them? But they think that it might be the case for now. And then ah, wait, who's asking this? Ah, so they hung out in the balcony while A was like smoking cigarettes. Appendicitis? Yeah. That's surgery. They think she's having that condition. But so now they're hanging out at like a balcony, and it was D and then A, and A asked D, "Hey, like, can you tell me what happened like that night, and like tell me everything?" Cause like at this time, like not everyone know everything, cause they're trying to keep secrets from each other, gaslighting each other. So it's like very, it's very confusing. So D told A everything, but basically she told him about the thing that happened when they were going back from school, passing the shrine, seeing the women, and Doc was listening next to both of them until she finished the story. And then the doc said, "I don't think that you guys are unlucky. I think this is like targeted." And then A was like, "What do you mean?" The doc said, "These type of things, they're not easy to come by. It's not easy to just make it happen. Otherwise, everyone would be seeing ghosts every day. It depends. It really depends on your luck, or basically your like, I wouldn't astronomy ish, but the thing that's the most important is it depends on that person, if like how their body is, how their mental is." And then after like hearing what Dee said, Doc thinks that it's a very high possibility that they know, so they just stand there and wait. Because that day, like, E wasn't really feeling the best. So she has a weak body and weak mental, and she's also still a child. So it's easy for these kind of things to mess around with her. And then Doc said that shrine under the tree too. And everyone like pray to it a lot, but we don't know if it's actually like a shrine for good spirits or not. He said he passed that shrine too, like when it's like kind of getting dark. But when you look at it, it doesn't look very like welcoming. It doesn't give you a sense of comfort. It looks like creepy. And then A asked like, "Oh, like so what did the expert tell you?" And the doc said, "The expert doesn't really say anything if it's not like important. Today they just have small talks." And then A asked Doc if he wants to go home. And the doc said, "Well, she's in good hands. She's with the city doctors. He couldn't do anything even if he stays. So if he wants to drive him home, let's go right now." Mm-hmm. So now it's just C that's and D, and then also their mom that stays at the hospital. The rest just disappeared. While while they were leaving, while A and the dog was leaving, they also went down to go to the expert who is right now like at the shrine because he said he'll go and pray, right? So he's at the shrine and he said he couldn't do anything now because the things that we can do, we already did. The rest, we just need the doctors to watch over her. And also, it just depends on her, like, karma, merits and karma. And then A kind of jokingly asked again that, well, will we, like, find anything weird again while we're going back? And he said, the expert said, he doesn't look very sure, but he said, I don't think we will. Like, they, those things, been trying to, like, kind of mess with us until they're satisfied, but. And then he just stopped there. And then that night, everyone went to bed. Mom, like dad, wait, no. D. D was just standing at the window and looking out at the view outside, just seeing like the hospital fences and then the the roads and everything. And then she jumped when she heard E call her. She looked back. She's kind of scared. She doesn't know if that's her sister or not, but I think it's a sister intuition because she kind of can tell that it's her sister. E was saying like D I need water. I need water. I'm very thirsty. So D gave her water and kind of feed her water a little bit, and E kind of chokes on the water. Once she finished drinking, she said, "Where is this place? Why are we sleeping here? Last I remembered, I was sick at home." And then D said, "We're at the hospital. You're very sick. So mom takes us here to the like for the doctors to see you." And then she asked again how how E's doing. And E said, "Well, I just have a little bit of a stomach ache." And then E said, I miss you a lot. I feel like I haven't seen you for a long time." And then D just, like, she just starts tearing up. And then she just kind of lets out a little joke and said, "Did you know that everyone says that you're You've been possessed. And then E just looks confused. Well, when D was trying to say something more, the moms woke up and said, "Hey, um don't scare your sister like that." And then the mom was like, "Hey, how are you doing, E?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm okay, like a little bit of like stomach ache, but I want to go home." And the mom said, "Well, we should stay here and watch your conditions tomorrow first, and if there's nothing else, we can go home." And then E got doses off because she's like, very tired. And everyone went to bed. The next day, the results of the body, like the whole assessment, didn't come. So C went out and to get something for mom to eat, and then D also come down to kind of like walk around. And the mom said, "Don't play, don't go too far." And D met a lot of people, like strangers, patients, and then the relatives of the patients. But she doesn't know who she's gonna like talk to. She kind of walks around, like kind of getting bored, and she sees this one black cat kind of coming in and just nuzzle up to her leg. So she decided to just sit there and play with the cat. And then she thinks about how she wants E to get better soon. So she can go like play together again. Kitty cat. Kitty cat. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Rain. Welcome to Nana Paradise. Happy Halloween, Rain. Thank you for coming by. And then C came and was like, I'm done buying food, so let's go up. Around noon, A and Dad came over and came over for a visit. They thought that she would be um able to go home today. But since the doctor couldn't come up with what's wrong with her, they said, "Well, she can't go home yet. Just let's just stay one more night to see her conditions." Because they want to bring in like a more specialized doctor to come in and assess her conditions. So around like afternoon, evening, actually, around evening, they started going home, and all that's left is mom and D. And that night, something happened again. Mom wait, not mom, D dreamed that E was crying, and D asked like, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" And E was about to say something, but like D just got woken up, jump scared because she heard it again. The chant, the the little T. It happened again, echoing, echoing. Right then and there, she she literally just fully awake, but it seems like she has sleep paralysis because she sees everything, but she couldn't move. She just kind of tense, sleeping there tense. But she looked over to the room. She sees E sitting up, swaying, mumbling, making weird noises. And on top of E, it's the black cat just sitting on top of her. After she's done chanting that weird chants or whatever they're doing, E looks over to D, stare at her face, and smile. D knows at that point that that's not her sister. She's so scared. She wants to scream, but she couldn't mutter a sound. She couldn't move. All she could do is move her eyes. And then E talked with like a very like cold and calm voice. No emotions. It says, "I'm leaving." And after that phrase ended, E's body just flopped, collapsed onto the bed, like someone who doesn't have like any like consciousness anymore. And and the cat that was sitting on top of her jumped out the window and disappeared. And then D can move now. She quickly rushes over to shake E, but E still sleeps, doesn't wake up. But she notices at the corner of E's mouth there's blood. D screams for her mom, wakes her up, and the mom quickly rushes out to get the doctor. And Dee just stands there, shaken. She feels weak in the knees, and she just kept calling E, E, but there were no reply. She kind of wobbled towards that window that the cat jumped off of, but she couldn't see anything other than like darkness. She kind of surveyed around the proximity, so that she sees the fence and then the roads, right? But suddenly she got a chill down her spine because she sees the women in the black shirt standing at the road. Also, apparently, when she was shaking like E and stuff, she pressed down her belly because she was trying to like grab like all the body and shake it. But when she grabbed her stomach, it kind of just sank down like there was nothing there. So yeah, E died that night. And D said that it was the scariest like night in her entire life. It's the one in the hospital. Yeah. The aftermath of this story. So they held a little funeral for E. It's like a simple little funeral in their house. Not a lot of relative came because there have been rumors that she's been eaten by like ghost demons. T Fading was right. He did die. Yeah. He came to that conclusion very fast. So not a lot of people wanted to come because they're scared. And that shrine at the tree, A and B, like there's no shrines anymore because A and B went over and destroyed it and burned it. They were very angry. Yeah. They said the doctor that did the little autopsy, they couldn't come with a conclusion because the organs of E, it was ripped, very like it was intensely ripped at many like places, but they're very confused on how she could have survived that many days. And then the the word T, yep. Someone, so this is a theory because we don't know. I'm sorry, rip. Yes, like ripped. The word Tio, it's like still a theory, but someone did a research on this, and they said it's like a kind of like how you say before like saying a spell, but it was like in another language. But it's still a theory, but it's very believable because it was very chant like, yeah. Yeah, jeez. Took me 3 hours, almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 to finish the story. I told you it's a very long story. But I was so spooked last night. You guys have no idea. So I was like listening to like a lot of ghost stories worth 2 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah, no apology post for me. Just a theory, a ghost theory. Yeah, Vading doesn't have to post any apologies. He had to put spoiler alerts instead. But yeah, I thought it was very crazy. I was like listening to a bunch of ghost story last night, and then I listened to this one, and I was like, ooh, ooh. It's like I guess, like I mean, it's so hard to like answer when someone asks me if I believe in ghosts. It's like yes and no, like more like no, but like stories like this just like very like swayed my opinion. Just makes me like do like I'm like in the middle of like no and yes and no, but like I'll never do anything to like mess with it. Just kind of let it be. All right, so for next ASMR, we fund you a 3DO. A 3DO. You want me to get a 3DO? Did I do good ASMR? Yes, you did. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That was a good story time. Happy Halloweens, everyone. But yeah, I thought it would be a fun little, you know, um story to translate for you guys because the story is in Thai. I don't know if anyone translated in English, but I figured I'll share it with you guys. Wouldn't mind hearing more ASMR. Aw, happy Halloween! Thank you, guys. I missed some, but it was great. Happy Halloween, Twilight. If you record these and do videos of them, I would finally have content that I don't keep pausing or turning off. I mean, to be fair though, like this stream is more of like a literally like a video content because most of the time I just spent talking about the story, so technically you can call it like a video, like not so much a live stream except this last yapping part. Oh, the beginning yapping part. I like the videos you did on that one break. Which one was it? Oh, was it that what was it? Cozy Haze? That game? That was like kind of like a live stream ish kind of content with like a little bit of cuts in between. I'm glad you like it though. 'Cause those ones are pretty easy to make ish because I don't need to put in a lot of like effects or editing, so I could do that. Maybe if I go on the next break, I will record that so you guys can have something to watch. But I think what's scary is like the cat that she met and played with. Like, why was it there at the end? Ah, jump scare. Jump scare. Thank you, Barry, for the 20. Kishima. You jump scared me. Wait. Thank you for donating to the banana cave, banana coven. How amazing timing it is! I literally like jumped. Fuck. Yeah. Let me note that. Bug. I'll note it in like L shape so I can kind of cross it. So that's one today, and then there's the gold minion one, right? The gold minion one. There we go. How many hearts you bewitched today, Bun? I don't know. You guys will have to tell me. You know what's funny too? My voice pack is gonna be called Bewitched. So yeah, spoilers alert. Very nice. Can't wait. When will it be coming out? Probably tonight. Like not too long after I end stream because I already have it kind of like done. I just need to like go in and adjust some more stuff. So I was like listening to it back when before stream started, and I was like, I'll go in and edit this part one more time. I keep editing, like I keep fixing things, and yeah, that's why it's not done yet because I keep fixing and fixing things. So yeah, I plan to like put it out like before stream starts. So I can be like, guys, I put out like I put out like a voice pack. Here you go. And then I couldn't finish it in time, so now I'm like, guys, I'll come out with a voice pack. Just wait. But it will come out tonight, 100%. Gotta get it in time for Halloween, you know. Well, I guess I'll just spoil it. It doesn't have anything to do with the main voice pack part, but the idea is that you're spending like kind of like a last night ish with like Bunthilda. That moment, like it wasn't explicitly said in the voice pack, but that's like kind of like the settings that I um was kind of like painting ish, because she disappeared after Halloween. We just have one more live stream tomorrow. It doesn't count. Yeah. Kind of like that, you know? Thanks a good thing to do. Some spells are time limited and need to be done at the full moon though. I need to wait for the full moon first. Ah wow! Oh, that is a good thing to do. I see. Well, you know what? Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. This has been very fun. I like it's such a long story that I couldn't remember the whole story. That's why so I did a little note after I was like doing my like ghost story research. I have a little like note on my iPad that I was like noting down like the key points and stuff. Just like in college, huh? And I was telling you guys, like I was like referring to my notes and telling you guys the story for like a while until that what was it? That point where they were shooting people with a shotgun outside. You told it fairly well, thank you, thank you. To like that shotgun outside, and after that, I don't really remember what happened after like the whole like everyone went to bed and I forgot what happened next. So I had to pull out the actual article. So I was like kind of like live translating ish. That's why I like stumble like a lot here and there because I was like, wait, I need to read this part, and I had to like kind of summarize it and like live translate it.
Bling blah boo. You will have a good day when you get up. Oh, thank you. You too. Bling blah boo. Then my wand. It's a banana wand. Twilight hours upon us. Ow! Woo! Thanks for the stream. So about the off topic. Can you ask Colin to check DMs? Colin specifically? Sure, yeah. Man, that man never fucking checked DMs. I swear to God, guys, like he never checked DMs. Like he would be answering to like group chat stuff, but he would never respond to DMs. You want to get something? I always had to go in general. Hold on, let me add him right now. My chat said, please respond. DM. Thank you. Done. Gotta poke him with the call. Yeah. Ring ring. To make him look at DMs. Yeah. He just always kind of forgets about DMs. So. Ugh. Ugh. Crack in my back. No. Is he looking great today? Remember when MSN would check your screen? It would? I've never used MSN. How are you feeling after this? You know, I think telling this story makes me less spooked. So I think it's good for me mentally. Because now it's kind of like I'm sharing the spookiness with you guys, and now we can like I give you guys a part of my spooky. Like I got scared and I shared it with you guys, and now I'm happy. Is Cora still streaming, or did she stop? I know she was gonna do something. Or was she done? Damn, that's fast. Well, everyone's doing a Halloween stream today, so I'll go to Eva. She's been a while since she streamed, and then so sharing is caring. So now we're both a little spooked. Exactly. 20 minutes ago. Oh dang, I missed it. Apparently, I made a cameo on her Halloween stream, and I wanted to see it, but I'll go back and watch her VOD. It adds to the spookiness of the day. Are you guys spooked at all? With me telling you a story? I need to know. Were you spooked at all? The story was fun. My favorite part was confirming that E died. That's kind of fucked up, okay? My Halloween is already over, which makes me sad. It is. It feels a little weird when spooky month's over, huh? I'm a little spooked. Ah, thank you. The nice of a voice to spook. The boo effect worked though. Boo. Hi, know. Wait, hi Soda. Welcome to Banana Paradise. I mean, to the Banana Coven. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. It's true. Baiting beef with E is real. I think he got a little parasocial with E. Kind of fucked up. Okay. Kind of fucked up. But I'm kind of curious to see the movie adaptation. But I'm kind of scared. I'm too scared to watch it. So if any of you guys are looking for a spooky movie to watch, you're getting sent back to risk school. Thank you, Barry, for the 20. Let me note that down too. Risks sent back to risk school. Damn, another dupe. Yeah. I still need to go back and count all the voices instances. Yeah. Maybe watch along in Discord. It's still not the same. I'm still alone. Okay. My god's luck ain't having it today. I'll go ahead and count. And if any one of them already exceeded like 5, I'll play it back for you guys next stream. Like I'll randomize a new one for you guys. You know, Death Whisper. That's what it's called. English title. Apparently, they have two movies. I don't know what the second one is. So that's exciting. Watching Harry is always better when with others, except Barry always keeps stealing the drinks. Stealing the drinks? Let me check Netflix real quick. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if it's region blocked or not. Mhm. It's there for me. Nice. Very pog. But yeah, I chose like a Thai ghost story because I thought it'd be like interesting for you guys to hear. You know. Plus, it was in Thai, so I'm translating some exclusive content. JK, JK. I love you so much, guys. I think I'm gonna call it off here now. See you guys for tomorrow's stream. I'll go work and on the voice pack for a little bit more, and I'll put them out. Also, for Minecraft scavenger hunt, I think you need to get some resource packs and stuff. So I linked the map down in the next tomorrow's stream description. So I think you can find all the resource packs you need to get and download it there. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, kissy magwise. Terror and Chronos was taking me through the maps yesterday to like kind of survey it a little bit. There's a thing that I just found out. It's called Moth Rinth, and it's pretty nice for like having a bunch of like resource packs and stuff. So that if that's what you guys are interested into. Oh, could you send them over in Discord too? Yes, yes, yes. I will send them over in Discord. Um, I don't know. Okay. Think of a stream gonna be fun tomorrow. It will be. Happy Halloween again, everyone. Have a spoopy night. Spoopy spoopy. Love you so much. Mwah. I'll go see Eva carve some pumpkins. Kissy kissy ma. And then end screen.